The next reader is Ted Wilson.
Good evening. In the middle, 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 in the midst of all this, I, we exist because of them. I, we, you exist because of these folks here. I have Jimmy Garrett sent me a letter and asked would I read it in total. I don't know whether I have enough time, but I do want to read parts of it because I feel it's important. I knew Jayne solely as a poet. I didn't know about her work on the West Coast during the movement. I met her when she came to New York. Jimmy Garrett says, Jayne Cortez was the sister who recruited me to SNCC in LA, 1963. Jayne had been tasked with finding black activists who were from the South and or were interested in working in the Southern Civil Rights Movement. I qualified at both. At the time, I was co-chair of the LA chapter of the Student Congress of Racial Equality. I worked with SNCC in Jackson and Laurel, Mississippi, as a staff member during the Mississippi Project in 1964. And after I later found out Jayne was a great, highly respected poet, never once did she mention to a 19-year-old budding writer she was such a serious recruiter, and so never talked about her art form. I worked with SNCC until October 65, when, largely because I was visibly active in the LA uprising, I had to resign. During the summer 1966, shortly after accepting the chair of the Black Student Union at San Francisco State, after taking part in the Meredith March. And he goes on to talk about how Amiri Baraka and Larry Neal came out in 1967, and along with Sonia Sanchez, who he met in Mexico, they started the first Black Studies program, and they have a history of having the longest boycott, takeover, I think still. Sonia stayed the course and stayed for several years as a professor in the first Department of Black Studies in the US. I can't read everything in between, but he says, Ted, that's my story. Check with Danny, Sonia, John Bracey, Amina, Max Stanford, Askia Touré. I don't know if, I don't know how he was very active, but also Marvin X. Culture. Africa's blood runs through Cuba's veins. When you think about Negroes who imitate whites, who imitate us, that is Africans throughout the diaspora, you must ask yourself, who's doing who? In whose culture do we live? Turn the beat around. Turn the beat around. Memories were meant to fade. Turn the beat around. Nothing, obviously, belongs to anybody. It belongs to who has it and can hold it long enough to promote. The one who dies with the most toys wins. What you do for yourself, you take with you. What you do for others, you leave behind. Because luck often visits a fool, but seldom sits and chats with them. Ask and you shall answer. This is a poem that I first read in a reading over in Newark with Amiri, and a whole bunch of us at the Women in Support of the Women's March. That I do did. Y'all know what I mean. But anyway, that was Sister Frederica Bay, who has been doing some fine work with the rest of those sisters. Let the music play. Let the music play. Let the music play, I say. Let the music play. Let the music play. Let the music play, I say. Let the music play. Let the music play. Let the music play, I say. You want to hear some words? Let the music play, I say. You want to hear some words? Like a poem, like a rhyme out of time, a space out of place. Let the music play. Speak the words of colored tunes, though brightly arranged, so they pierce the drums of our ears. Now let the music play. The sounds of mulatto all-stars strumming their whatevers, let them strut their strut up and down the boulevard of hipness against a backdrop of Al Jolson images in Greenwich Village, right off Cooper Square. We know who lived there. If you think Magic Johnson, Jackie Robinson, and Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, and Bebop will save your ass this time, let the music play. Do you want coherency? Do say. Do you want a rational approach to integrated systems? Ouch! Wrong century. Do you want an evolutionary development unfolding like a seasonal change? You say. Words. Words precede the act. The thought precedes the word. The feeling precedes all thought. Or is it vice versa? Is it the rationality we seek, coherently speaking? I say, let the music play. Let the music play. Let the music play. Let the music play. Words, words, more words. You know, words have power, or didn't you? You will sooner and later than you think, and it will stay longer, which is later, which is longer, which is later. Can you get to that? Better to let the music play. Let the music play. Sounds of inoculation, anesthetizing, hypnotizing you into inebriate states of blissful desire. Decadent as it seems. Imagine silence. They're gone. Thank you.